Welcome back to Havana Media. My name is Boniface Owino, and as usual, I'm going to be your host for today. Now, I just want to remind you that, please, if you're meeting for the first time, if you're watching this video for the first time, I'll just request you to take a minute, go down there, click the subscribe button. You can also like, share, drop me a comment in the comment section and tell me what you think and where you're watching this video from. It's normally very usual to tell me if you're watching within the country, which county are you watching these videos from? And if you're outside the country, you can also tell me which country are you watching these videos from. I really appreciate those who are watching from Los Angeles, those are watching from Nigeria, from Algeria, from United States of America, from Germany, from Arabs. Thank you very much. May God bless you. Asante sana. Now, I just want us to go back direct to our discussion. But before that, I've been visited by Professor Fred Ogola here, the DVC of Uzima University. Very much important to note that this guy next to me is the current DVC of Uzima University, a very learned friend, a very learned man in Kenya, holds very many degrees, very many PhDs, but he'll tell us more about that. I want to give him a chance to tell us more about himself, because maybe some of you are meeting him for the first time. And for those who are meeting him for the second, third, fourth, fifth time, it's also good to listen to him once again before we jump back to our discussion. Prof.
How are you, my brother?
I'm fine, and you?
Very well.
I'm very happy to see you again.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you tell us,
if I manage to meet him, of course, you'll always ask for those blessings from His grace. Those are things that are immeasurable. So it begins just by the talking to these people for spiritual inspiration, but also leadership inspiration, and also trying to define what do we want to achieve in 2025. Because you see, Uzima, we are so focused about what we want to do. And I love the leadership from the chancellor to the VC and even to the council. But also when you're in the campus, you meet your fellow colleagues and say hi. So it begins just by, for example, just do a tour of the campus saying hi. So feel the presence and feel the spirit there. Then after that, I'm going to join my family because my sister is opening a new home. And on this new home, she built a home. She comes from Alego. Her husband is from Alego. For us, we are from Ugenya, but my sister bought a home in Ugenya. And so the Alego people are being welcome in their own home, because once they come in now, they become the owners of the home. So it's a very big ceremony to share with the family. Of course, then I'll just resign to quietness. I actually have a quiet Christmas, mostly attending the prayers and talking to people on the ground, tujue ground inasema ni namna gani, ground iko na kasongo ama wamemwacha, vitu kama hizo. And also checking whether sisi tuko kwa serikali ama tuko on the ground tujue. So just like I meet the people, saying hi. And also just because I'm a leader in Siaya and the larger Ugenya, so just to listen to people, what are the issues that affect them. So Christmas will be more or less quiet. Then after that, I will go to all the way to Malindi, where I actually do my New Year celebration. And I can assure you, Bon, I know some people normally wait until 31st midnight counting 1, 2, 3, 4,
then they start shouting.
No, for me, I don't do that one. If you are celebrating on social media or on video of some kind, you are not celebrating. The people who are actually celebrating, you don't see them on video. You don't see them. They just celebrate. So I'm sure that I'll have an early lunch for 31st. By around 2 o'clock, I've eaten enough meat in my stomach, where it will be either...
which can contain the next...
Yes. Then, I'll just take it down with... take it down with
things.
With Baileys. Baileys, Baileys, Amarula. They are the same. Baileys and Amarula.
I don't know those things.
When it reaches around... evening, when you guys are counting 1 to 10, me, I do not know how you cross the year. I'll just come from 2024 and I'll find myself in 2025. When the hour passed, me, I don't know. That's for me is the best celebration. It doesn't mean I'll be very high, but I'm trying to say I will feel less, I'll have less memories of what has happened. In the place where I stay, in Malindi, there's a jacuzzi. So I'll just be lying myself in jacuzzi. It's not where you can drown, just a jacuzzi in a swimming pool. The swimming pool for jacuzzi, that Olympic size swimming pool. Just lie there and just take the meat down. Wash it down.
Now wash it down.
Wash it down. Then wake up to 2025. Then go to Mass and say, thank you, Lord, for this moment. And the year ends and you come back to Nairobi. So basically, that is my my ways of there. But while being in Mombasa, in Malindi, of course, I'll say hi to the Kaya Council elders because they know the Luo Council elders. I work with them closely. Take the greetings from the Luo Council elders to the Kaya Council elders. We shall eat a small goat with them in Malindi somehow. And you call it a year, Bon. I don't know how yours look like.
Okay, mine is not that much complicated like yours, you know.
Yeah.
You have Of course, mine is not complicated. I'm planning to at least to have a break. Probably by Saturday, I'll be having a break of 1 week.
Yeah.
Traveling, go up country, you know, see family here and there. You know, I'm not married, so I have to go and see my mom.
Enjoy.
I have to go and enjoy with my mom, and then after that, what I normally do, what I normally prefer that when you are crossing over, my crossing over is all normally like that. Like instead of shouting that Happy New Year, I just find a place, cool place, kneel down, and then speak to God. Really a deep conversation, not prayer, but a real conversation. Just tell God that now that year has ended.
Yeah.
Now this is a new one. What is the plan?
Oh,
Yeah. That is how mine is going to. Mine is not going to be that much complicated.
But mine is not complicated.
Yours is complicated. Okay, the way where yours is complicated is this: there is an opening, you know, in Ugenya. After that,
no, these are not my ceremonies. I'm just attending.
and then traveling to Malindi, you know, all that. But it's good.
You know, the sunset comes earliest in Kenya. In which city?
Is it Malindi?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is why you're preferring.
Yes. If you want to begin the year in Kenya, you should be in Malindi.
So that is
because for you, when it will be, you know, if we are measuring time difference minute by minute, Nairobi could be around 12 minutes because the sun rises at the coast earlier than.
Yeah, and the other place.
Yes, then Malindi looks like the place, you know. So I want that the new year comes first in Kenya from Malindi. So be there.
It's okay. Maybe we will plan the 2025, 2026 one. We'll be there together.
Yeah.
Now, that one aside, Prof, I want us now to get into our conversation of the day. And I want us to start by this issue of the IEBC.
Yeah.
Because it's bringing a lot of attention in Kenya, whereby different people are talking about it. The church leaders talked about it. Now the politicians have talked about it. Those in the government and those outside government, and even the citizens themselves are talking about it. That a country cannot be run without IEBC. Okay, suppose something happens right now. Who are going to lead us into election? And remember, that there are also some leaders, like let me just mention somebody like Kalonzo Musyoka is being connected with the delay of the IEBC. What do you say?
First of all, let me say that IEBC is like a cutout. You know, when you enter in a car, when you start driving around, you realize the car is making some noise that if you don't stop it by identifying where the cutout is, the car stops. And that's basically why we have stalled, because the sovereign power of the Kenyan people is in the ballot. And the ballot is exercised through institution called IEBC. That's why it's very key that IEBC should be operational, because that's why you elect a president, MP, governor, senator, MCA. Everyone is elected through there. So the sovereign power resides at the IEBC. That's why everybody is complaining. So why are Kenyans concerned now? William Ruto, immediately after taking over, he disbanded the IEBC. So we were thinking that his actually immediate action will be to set it up. And there's been no agency from his side to do it, and people are really concerned about it. During Gen Z upheaval, people wanted to go and recall MPs. So I'm thinking that the fact that MPs normally protect their term by saying they can be recalled only 1 year after. And then they cannot be recalled on the last year. They are trying to delay the formation of IEBC so that we can cross to a point when you cannot recall members of parliament. This is one strategy. The second strategy is that people are believing that President William Ruto is tending to be very unpopular, and the Kenya Kwanza government is trying to be unpopular. So they are afraid that maybe there should be some kind of a crisis in 2027 so that they can sail through it. But for them, they're having a plan, while Kenyans have no plan because they are waiting for IEBC to be set. The other thing also, you know, there are so many people who have prepared bills to be taken to IEBC. Even Linda Jamii, where I was a leader, you see now I'm DVC, but I was a leader of Linda Jamii. We also prepared a bill. We prepared several bills, like 2 of them, to take to IEBC. But whenever we take them, they write you a letter telling you that there is no commissioner, so they cannot receive the signatures. So those are some of the reasons. So these things of Kalonzo Musyoka is neither here nor there. And anybody blaming Kalonzo Musyoka for lack of IEBC is joking. Because let me tell you what. Do you think Kalonzo Musyoka has got the muscle or the spine to stop Ruto from forming IEBC?
No.
Huh?
First of all, who is he?
Can you imagine? And I'll give you an analogy. For me, I'm sorry to say I use facts here. When Azimio was still Azimio, when Raila Odinga was the leader of Azimio, Kalonzo was one of the principal, Ruto disbanded IEBC against the wish of Raila plus Kalonzo. Now Raila Odinga has joined William Ruto and Kalonzo is alone. Can Kalonzo alone do what both Kalonzo and Raila failed to do?
It's impossible.
Yeah. So they are using Kalonzo as a scapegoat. Kalonzo do not have the goons to the level that ODM has. You know that?
Yeah, that's
Where are Kalonzo's goons?
Maybe not Ukambani, but Ukamba's people are very...
They are gentlemen.
They are gentlemen.
By the way, I'm speaking, I'm going there tomorrow for a burial in Machakos. So I'm going to tell Ukambani people, man, you guys are gentlemen.
They're gentlemen.
You're gentlemen. So this is impossible.
Yeah.
So the blame around Kalonzo Musyoka is not justifiable because they are talking about this thing of Kokimuli. Yeah, but remember, it's no longer about Kokimuli. The court has declared that the law that put in place IEBC select panel is unconstitutional. So is Kalonzo Musyoka Justice Mugambi who has declared that law unconstitutional?
No, it's not.
So if the law that is calling upon the setup of the IEBC select panel has been declared unconstitutional, so which law are we using to set up the IEBC? Now let's go back to the previous one before this one and use that one. Isn't it?
Yeah.
And that one does not look for 9 commissioners, it's 7.
7, yeah.
And then you see Kenyans saying, people who have gotten the 2 positions, they'll cry. Because nobody always wants to lose. Everybody wants to gain. At least in anywhere you are than to lose. So that also brings animosity. So truth be said, it's not Kalonzo Musyoka. It's completely wrong for Kenyans because there are around 5 MPs, constituencies that do not have MPs, 10 wards that do need MCS. Yeah. At the same time, it's just a place where Kenyans can express grievances. But for me, the most important thing is that IEBC, if you look at the national budget, gets the budget allocation they normally get every year. Now, if they cannot do their work, why are they receiving money from the exchequer? Why are they taking taxpayers' money when they can't function? Like you see, I wanted to go to court to challenge it, but I think I'm tired of going to court. You can go to court in Kenya until you're tired. I want to go to court to challenge the fact that IEBC is writing me a letter telling me they cannot receive signatures, yet they are getting money. The secretariat is being paid salaries.
To do that.
So what are they being paid salaries to do if they cannot be able to do the functions of IEBC? Why don't we disband even the secretariat? According to me, money is going to IEBC and somebody is withdrawing it to use for other purposes. And that's why it is important that IEBC remains unconstituted because when the commissioners there, they'll start now doing reporting about the money. But for now, there's no one who can account or report the use of money. They can use this, but money is flowing into IEBC. The question is, who is receiving this money? And that person, in his interest, is the reason why IEBC cannot be constituted. So he's eating until the very last moment, then they'll form IEBC just late. So the issue is about the money. The issue is not about all these things neither here. You are hearing, because once commissioners are there, they're the ones who are going to enjoy the money. Yes.
So they're trying to look at it in this way that if we bring these people earlier, this money that we are supposed to get.
Somebody is eating the money that normally is given by the commissioners because the constitution is clear how much money goes to IEBC in the budget. And we have not been told that money has been withdrawn. Yes, if you do your research, IEBC during election period normally receive 44 billion shillings to conduct an election. And this is about a phase, isn't it? So some of this money comes the first year, voter registration. Now, are we going to do a voter registration? Are we going to do the boundaries reviews? How much money should have gone there? And if it's not going there, this money had been given provision for. Where is it going? So even in the 2024-2025 budget, IEBC was put there. Who is receiving that money? So in as much as Kenyans are thinking that about democracy, it's also about corruption and lack of accountability. And as a governance expert, as a scholar, we just check the facts. We are not interested in politics. Yeah.
And okay, Prof, talking about just the other day we saw Uhuru Kenyatta together with the William Ruto meeting. And according to the information that I received, was that William Ruto wanted Uhuru Kenyatta to meet him at the State House. Uhuru Kenyatta failed, told him that we cannot meet at the State House. Another thing, he asked Uhuru Kenyatta if they can meet in Gatundu, in his home. If he refused, and told him that let us meet in the office that you say that I will go during the campaign. Ishaweri. So what is the game? What is the game? Or okay, what is the expectation according to you as the governance expert? The way you are seeing the meeting. Of course, what I know is that this is an annual meeting. This is a meeting that should be there for a sitting president with the predecessor. At least they should be meeting maybe once. So that at least one should, the president can tell the sitting president what needs to be done. But now this one comes at a point that a lot of Kenyans are questioning William Ruto's game on Kenyans. What according to you, what is your expectation, or what is your overview of the meeting?
I think that meeting was not one meeting. There were several meetings in that one meeting. There was one where Uhuru Kenyatta is meeting William Ruto. And there's another meeting where Ruto is meeting Uhuru Kenyatta. Then there's another meeting that took place after the meeting. The issues that emerged after the meeting. And the fourth one is the Kenyans' perception of that meeting. So let me start with the first meeting. Uhuru meeting Ruto was courtesy, a gentleman saying, oh, you want to have a meeting?
Yeah.
Just come.
Yeah.
So the question is, Ruto might have wanted to call Uhuru Kenyatta to meet him, just to help salvage himself. Then Uhuru says, okay, if I deny to meet him, it can start being in the press, I've refused to meet him. Let him come. If he thinks meeting me will help him, let him come.
Yeah.
And Boniface, I refer this to, I'm sure when you're in campus, you must have tried to date, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you tell her, can we have coffee? Then she say, oh, she gives you excuses to show you that she's not interested, isn't it? Then for you in the center, then come. To see whether you can succeed even if you come. If she has refused on the thing, you won't get even if you meet her. So then you go there and she start asking you like I remember when I was in Spain, there's another lady I was very attracted to. She was from Singapore. So I asked her out. She told me, Fred, you are a nice guy, very brilliant boy, don't even think that because you are black and the rest. Then one day she gave me a meeting and told me, Fred, for us in Singapore, if you want to date me, there are conditions, there are preconditions we have to meet. We have to decide whether we are buying a house through mortgage together. So then I discovered that meeting her won't help until I can raise money for the mortgage. So this was just like, okay, if you want to meet me, if you insist, let me give you a date, but nothing will happen. So this could be what Uhuru was pursuing. Secondly, Uhuru also want to come out as someone who has like he said during Embu, that for me, sinner, I have no interest. Me, I'm retired. If you want to meet me, you want to meet me. Then remember, when Ruto was leaving, what did Ruto thank Uhuru for?
Asante kwa nyama.
Asante kwa
nyama.
Yeah, that's very important. Which means for Uhuru was like, unataka nyama? Kula nyama. See, nitilie. Unaona hiyo nyimbo ya Gracie. Nitilie. Mama nitilie. Akamtilia nyama, akala. Hakusema thank you for the meeting. He didn't say thank you for advice. Say asante kwa nyama. So even
that is the only thing that was captured, I think.
Yes, courtesy. You ask for nyama, nimekupa nyama. Na tumemaliza. So for Ruto, Uhuru was like, I welcome you. I have no
bad intentions.
Yeah. And then, of course, it's been a tradition that the sitting presidents normally meet
the predecessors.
Uhuru met Kibaki. Uhuru met Moi. And Uhuru has a narrative that he says that, he was a son of Moi. So he said that he used to feel very bad whenever he visited Moi. Because Moi used to stand and greet him and call him His Excellency. And he used to be like, no, you are my boss, but Moi was, no, don't be offended. You are the head of state now. So maybe Uhuru was also telling Ruto that, what's happening? You are the head of state, isn't it? Meeting you as a head of state has no problem. Thirdly, Uhuru could have said, a sitting president, if you are somebody who was an ex-president who has got the business establishment like Uhuru Kenyatta has, the sitting president is relevant. Not meeting him could be dangerous. So you say, okay, maybe there's nothing I can lose, but I might only gain. So that could be Uhuru's meeting. Ruto wanted to send a message that he has actually captured Mount Kenya by meeting.
By meeting Uhuru.
I don't think that he received that. The ground is much more hostile. In fact, worse. I even heard someone saying from Mount Kenya, ata ukifufua Kimathi.
Hata
Jomo Kenyatta. Kumeumana.
They also say that hata uende uamshe Jaramogi.
Kumeumana. So maybe the question is, did Uhuru get what he wanted? Yes, he got. Nearly everything he wanted.
Uhuru achieved what he wanted.
He demonstrated as a gentleman. He looked like a statesman. He respected the sitting president. He offered hospitality mpaka akasema, yeye alisema, Uhuru hakusema, asante kwa nyama, kumaanisha nyama ilikuwa. So Uhuru was a good host from the beginning to the end. But was Ruto a good visitor? I don't know, because I don't know what he took. When you visit people, you must carry something, isn't it? Wanasemanga Uhuru ni mlevi, alimletea nini? Sasa mimi sikuona kama alimletea hata whiskey, sivyo? So maybe this was not a good visitor. Are there some goodies that to show that he brought? So these are not things I saw. So what I saw was asante kwa nyama. So I'm sure Uhuru got everything he wanted, but Ruto must have disappointed. That's why, again, we are hearing, Kagwe might come to his government. I also heard rumors that Moho will be in the government. I think that's not true. Moho will never be there. Maybe Kagwe, but not Moho. But you can't even see the hardcore, like the Jubilee honkos joining. I don't think so. So I think Uhuru got everything he wanted. Ruto nearly got nothing, if not even wasted himself. So these things of handshake, I'll tell you that handshakes are made from a culture of weakness. When you're weak, you handshake people. When you can perform, you perform, and you don't have to handshake anybody. That's why Kibaki's first time, he performed very well, and there was no handshake. The second time, when he handshaked, the economy stagnated, the government expenditure increased, and there was a lot of fights and misalignment in the government and confusion. So I think that this handshake is not helping, and I can tell the president, the person you need to handshake is a Kenyan. Come back to Kenya, handshake him by offering healthcare, sort out the SHA, the SHIF, sort out the education system, CBC, build classrooms for grade 7, grade 9, ensure that the university funding model is sorted, ensure people can afford food. But most likely, look at the statement which were issued by Uhuru's communication team, Kanzedena, and the one issued by Ruto. They were conflicting. That's why I told you there was no one meeting. There were very many meetings inside that meeting.
In fact, according to me, Prof, I expected. Sorry for cutting it short. I was expecting that, being that these people met together, these briefing or these things that were being briefed of their meeting was supposed to come as a joint one.
Yeah, there was supposed to be a joint statement.
A joint statement.
Especially outside that door of the Shaweri house, they would have done a joint statement.
A joint statement.
Now, that also tells you these people must have discussed so many personal things. They must have discussed their personal issues. Maybe Ruto went for his own personal things. It was not about state. They tried to elevate the meeting to a state level, but that was not a state meeting.
It was not a state meeting.
Because look at the Uhuru issued a statement talking about the issues that needs to be addressed. And he focused more like he was reading from the same script with the church. Isn't it? But then Ruto gave his speech as if it's a State of the Nation address. That was a State of the Nation. Like they discussed about Haiti, about this. Then, of course, maybe Uhuru called and said, Bwana, we never discussed that thing. Then later you saw now, Another statement being now issued on Twitter by Ruto was more of discussion about the state of the issues of SHA. So he went a bit lower, not talking about the global issues and all those things. So what I'm trying to say in short is that meeting was not the meeting that all of us think about. That meeting would have been a very personal meeting. And I'm sure I am concluding by saying that I don't think Ruto got what he wanted from the meeting. And that's why he had to spend a lot of communication around it. You know, if you visit your mother over Christmas and you're happy, you won't come in Nairobi, start tweeting about how your mother was nice, I don't know what, how he cooked for you, Gaili. You'll be too happy to discuss about how the food was during Christmas celebration. You'll just like, okay, that was awesome. So a happy person is seen by the activities after. And most of the issues are seen after the meeting. So according to me, that meeting was not very helpful for Kenya Kwanza government. And I think that his communication team are also not very good. They could have issued a joint statement, and they could have not issued statements which were disconnected and could create acrimony afterwards. And of course, you see, for example, Mount Kenya looked and said, oh, so you think if you greet Ruto, Uhuru, you got Mount Kenya back. It was also trying to increase the gap between Gachagua, because see, Gachagua was as the kingpin, and the meeting to happen in Ishaweri is the reason why they could not allow it to happen anywhere else but in Ishaweri. To say it's taking place in Mount Kenya, and Ishaweri is a traditional place where Kenyatta used to live. You know, Kenyatta never used to sleep much in State House. Uhuru was brought up in Ishaweri because after Kenyatta's meetings in State House, he used to spend the night in Gatunda. And you realize this is a very traditional thing that actually talk about Mount Kenya. So he wanted to kind of destabilize Gachagua and also Kalonzo, but I'm privy to some information that when Uhuru went for Kalonzo's wedding, he briefed him that the meeting will take place anyway. So he told him, don't worry, when you see me meeting this person, it's okay. Just like you see when Abraham was in exile, and he accepted Sarah to be a sister. I think they brief each other and say, don't worry, even if and Sarah told Abraham, don't worry, sita pena. Yes, sita pena, so don't worry. So I'm sure those are the briefs which took place. So when Kalonzo was seeing this brief, he was saying, okay, I'm privy to what they are going to talk about. I know what this is all about, and I'm not bothered. So I'm sure those are the things that now unsettle the whole thing. So I'm sure Ruto must be back to the drawing board and saying, who next to visit? Maybe it could be Boniface Owino.
Who next?
In Havana media.
Because it's like he has visited every corner, every person that maybe thinks that can help him.
Yeah.
And there is no help.
But I can tell you, visit Kenyans. We are going for Christmas.
Yeah.
Everybody is wondering how Christmas will look like.
Yeah.
Can the president just surprise Kenyans with a Christmas gift? Either withdraw SHA, shift, and tell Kenyans, come January. We are back to NHIF. And we are back to ensure your health will be back. Education sorted. I saw Babu Owino issuing checks for bursaries before Christmas. Do you know that is more helpful than the visit to Ishaweri? You get me? If Babu Owino went to visit Baba in Karen and issuing checks in Bakassi East, which one would make more sense?
Giving checks.
So these things of greeting people are chana nayo.